important chapter is going on. I hope you know that. It's a very difficult chapter. Why are you people missing classes?
Personally, for me, because of the timings.
Timings. Still try to attend it because this chapter particularly and the next chapter after this, neural control and chemical control. These two chapters are very, you can say, technical. That they have a lot of specific things that you people will not understand on your own. Understood? These things you be present in the class. Sanidhi, why you were absent?
Mom, last class I was absent because I was somewhere out, so I could not attend. And then the class before I didn't attend because I had exhibition in my school and I was participating for it. So I was there.
And at what time does this class operate for you?
Here currently it's 7 p.m.
Okay, but still the main point that I wanted to tell you people is that to not miss your classes. Okay, because this chapter, particularly, like you can miss others and you can understand the rest of the chapters on your own also or seeing my videos also. But these two chapters I am a bit more serious about because this is something interesting also, but very tedious also. So in the previous class, we were talking about synapse, wherein we had discussed how synapse is the gap that was present between the two neurons, right? The nerve endings of one neuron and the dendrites of another. Now, the types of synapse tells us about a lot about how a neuron would perform. So there's the first kind of synapse, that is electrical synapse, and the second is the chemical synapse, both of which we are going to discuss. Okay, everyone switch on your videos, please. Now, when we talk, yes, someone saying something. Okay, everyone switch on your videos. This is my first batch in class 11th that has all girls in it, no boys, only girls. Okay, so so talking about the synapses, there are two types of synapses that are there, electrical synapse and chemical synapse. Now, if two neurons are there and there is less space or the synaptic gap is less for them, so that mostly occurs for the electrical synapse. Okay, whereas if the gap is a little bit more, then we call it as a chemical synapse. Now, basically, what is the difference in between both of these two? So when we talk about you can say the electrical synapse here, the close proximity of the two neurons are there, the first thing. And the second, that it is responsible for rapid signal transmission. When the signal has to be transported or transmitted very quickly, in that case, the electrical synapse comes into play. Okay, here you people know depolarization, repolarization of the neuron. You've studied that, right? So on the basis of that, strictly on the electrical basis, the synapse or the transmission of the impulse takes place. These synapses, they're not a lot in our body, so you'll find them at certain places, not everywhere. It's not the most common kind. The common kind is your chemical synapse. So when we talk about the chemical synapse, these are the ones that you can say they are not very closely situated to each other. Like in between the two neurons, there's a certain amount of synaptic cleft present. And these are those synapses that get regulated or that do the regulation of the nerve impulses depending upon the neurotransmitters such as dopamine, such as acetylcholine, etc. Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, Mom.
Okay. So talking about the electrical synapse, the thing we have to write here is that these are specialized for rapid signal transmission. rapid signal transmission. And secondly, these electrical synapse, these are very rare in our, very rare in our nervous system. And on the other hand, when we talk about the chemical synapse, the things to note over there in a chemical synapse is that the membranes that I told you, like pre-synaptic membrane and the post-synaptic membrane, they get, you can say, separated, and there's a fluid-filled space. Okay. In this case, the pre-synaptic, the pre and post-synaptic membrane are separated by a fluid-filled synaptic cleft. Separated by a fluid-filled synaptic cleft. This is something that you people must remember. And these are the most abundant in our nervous system. And when we talk about the chemical synapses, you can say, in this case, there is like, you can say, neurotransmitters actively involved. So these are
Moms, in the electrical synapse is not present. But
synapse is there, but very small. Like there's not a great gap. The gap is very small. The incident, you can say, polarization only happens. The signal transmits electrical, not chemical. Understood? Without the help of any kind.
synaptic cleft is like smaller.
Yes, very
Okay.
small. Okay, and these are the most common in our nerves. Clear? Any doubts up until now, students?
And what does cleft mean?
Cleft means a gap. Like see, here if you see, two neuron is there. Neuron number 1 is right here. Neuron number 2 is right. Okay. When two neurons have to be connected, they can be connected in either of the situation. Like for example, if there are 5 different areas from where the dendrites are occurring. So if this is all from where the dendrites are occurring, so the nerve endings of the another neuron could be from either of the places like this. It could be connected to all 5 sides, all 6 sides like this. So the space that is present in between the nerve endings of one neuron and the dendrites of another neuron is what we call as a synaptic cleft. Cleft means a gap. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, talking about the mechanism of nerve impulse conduction via chemical synapse. Now, when we talk about the chemical synapse, in this case, remember like how we draw the ends of the neuron in this way, the bulbous structures, right? Nerve endings is what we call it. Now, when we zoom this nerve ending, how does it look like? Let's see. So first, it sort of looks like this. Obviously, it is a bulbous structure, so we'll draw it like a bulb only. Now, what happens is that this nerve ending is sort of having a vesicle on it, like this. Okay. Inside of these vesicles, what we have present is a lot of chemicals. Okay. A lot of chemicals are present inside these vesicles or vesicles. Okay. What are these chemicals? These chemicals are your neurotransmitters. Okay. Now, if this is the part which we call as a surface of the membrane, or you can call it as anything, okay, and on it there are receptors present. If it is our skin, okay, if it is our muscle, then on top of that receptors are present on which these neurotransmitters will react upon. On these neurotransmitters will sort of interact. Clear, students?
It's the target site.
It is what?
Like the membrane thingy that you draw. That's like where the target is.
Yes, yes. Target, or imagine it like the one that will perceive the information that is coming. So we call it as the receptor. Okay. It is going to perceive the information that is being sent. Furthermore, this right here, see, many vesicles are going to be here also. These are the ones that have not fused with the membrane. This is the membrane, right? This part here is the membrane of what? Membrane of the nerve ending. So we call it as presynaptic membrane, isn't it? The membrane of the nerve ending is called as presynaptic membrane. So once this particular chemical, it has to be released outside the nerve endings. So it has to fuse with the membrane of that nerve ending. Then only it can get passed on from that. So I'll write like inside here, we have the neurotransmitter. Clear, students? Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
Or imagine if, for example, if the chemicals or the neurotransmitter from this neuron, this nerve ending, okay, it has to reach on to the dendrite of another neuron, right? Because that is how the information gets sent everywhere. So we'll call this as the postsynaptic membrane. Clear?
Okay.
This will be receiving the information. So basically, this is how the interface looks like when we talk about the, you can say the axon terminal and the synapse. Now, where is the synapse actually? This space. Do you see this gap, students? This is the synapse, wherein these neurotransmitters, they get released. Okay, and then each of these neurotransmitters, they will be sort of acting onto the receptor. Okay, so this right here is your synapse. Okay, and this figure that I've drawn, it is the axon terminal and synapse. So whenever you people also draw the diagram in your exams and stuff, you have to give the caption because the teacher could imagine anything, isn't it? So we will not do that. We will give the teacher full information that, see teacher, we have drawn everything that you needed. Now, see the cytoplasm of the synaptic knob, this thing, this knob like structure is called as the synaptic knob. Okay, knob means just like how a doorknob is there, same way, knob like structure. So the synaptic knob and its cytoplasm, meaning this area that it's inside, that area consists of a lot of synaptic vesicles, right? These ones. These are your synaptic vesicles. Inside these synaptic vesicles, we will find what? We will find neurotransmitter. Now, this neurotransmitter, these are the chemicals that are responsible for transmission of the signal via which type of synapse? Chemical synapse. Okay. So, inside of them, neurotransmitters are present, and what they will do is that they will take the information in the form of chemical, like electrical impulse will come, it will get changed into chemical impulse, and then it will be transported further on. Clear? Clear to everyone?
Ma'am,
Yes.
how
Yes,
will
ma'am.
the electrical impulse be transported?
Directly. It will not get changed into the chemical impulse. It will directly be transported from one neuron to another.
So
That is
there
why
will
it's
be no knobs or
no knobs.
anything like
No,
this.
knobs will be there, but neurotransmitters will not be released in that case. Whereas in
Okay.
this case, in the chemical synapse, the neurotransmitters are going to be released. Clear?
Yes.
Now, whilst this is happening, the whole entire process takes place in such a manner that whenever the signal that has been received by the neuron, it reaches the presynaptic membrane or the presynaptic area, then there is like this, you people remember how there was a sodium channel because of which sodium was coming in and going out? Same way, there's a calcium channel also, okay, in the neuron. Just like that. There are many different ion channels. So one such channel is calcium channel as well. So because of the presence of that calcium ion channels, it sort of, the neurotransmitter that was there, it gets stuck onto that presynaptic membrane and gets released into the synapse. Everyone's with me?
Yes.
Ma'am, can you explain the calcium channel part again?
Just like how there used to be sodium channels in the neuronal membrane, same way there is also going to be calcium channels. Now, because of the calcium channels, what is going to happen is that the calcium ion is going to diffuse inside the axon terminal, as a result of which this neurotransmitter that is present in a vesicle, this vesicle is slowly going to come to the end of the neuron and fuse with it. And when it fuses, it releases the neurotransmitter in the synapse. Understood?
Yes.
So that is how it happens. So if I, draw the whole entire flow chart of the nerve impulse and how it travels via synapse, before that we must write what is a neurotransmitter. So what did I tell you? Can someone tell me what is a neurotransmitter?
Ma'am, in electrical synapse, synaptic vesicles will be present or no?
They will be present, and many a time they will not be present. Okay, either of the situation, because normal neurons, they do have synaptic vesicles present. Okay,
But the
but
neurotransmitter are not there.
yes, the neurotransmitter is not needed only. Understood?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you.
So now tell me, students, what is the meaning of a neurotransmitter?
Chemical
Anyone?
messenger.
Yeah, the
Chemical messenger. It is a chemical, right? That is responsible for the transmission of nerve impulse across the chemical synapse. This is important to mention. Okay, it is the chemical responsible for the transmission of nerve impulses, okay, through or across the chemical synapse. This is what the neurotransmitter is. Everyone has understood this thing? Okay. Now to see the pathway. Okay. So we'll write it, but let me see if NCERT has this. Just 1 second. I just want to see if NCERT tells you the same thing or if I'm teaching way too extra. NCERT tells you that there is binds to the receptor. This ion mentioning is there. It has not been mentioned very in great depths. So we will learn it in great depth. Okay. Where did everyone go? Huh? Switch back your videos on.
Ma'am, is my video not available?
What?
Is my video not visible?
No, you two are there. Zainab and Maha are there. The rest of you just vanished. Now we're going to see the steps of mechanism of nerve or impulse or nerve impulse transmission. Nerve impulse transmission via through chemical synapse. Now, this is very important. Pay close attention. So, when we talk about the chemical synapse, we have come to the conclusion. Finally, we have learned this thing that certain neurotransmitters are going to play. Acetylcholine can be there. Dopamine can be there. Epinephrine can be there. Norepinephrine. There are various different kinds of neurotransmitters that regulate our nervous system. Clear? Now, furthermore, when we have to discuss about this stepwise process, so first thing that will take place is wave of depolarization. You remember, students, depolarization, how when the impulse moved to the site A, the first site of the nerve or the axonal membrane, right? So the wave of depolarization reaches the presynaptic membrane. Okay. Now the impulse that has been being carried out throughout the neuron surface, now it has ultimately reached the axon terminals, reached the what do you call it? The membrane of the synaptic knob, which is called as the presynaptic membrane. Okay, this is the first step that will take place. Furthermore, second, as soon as this is done, then calcium channel. The calcium channels open. Okay. And the calcium dipositive ion diffuses into the axonal terminal, meaning in that knob-like structure, the calcium ion is going to diffuse. Okay. From where is this calcium ion coming? From the surrounding fluid. Okay, in our body, calcium ion is present in abundance. You people know that it is responsible for blood clotting. It is responsible for this thing also. Muscle contraction, right? For those things, calcium ions are very required. So now the calcium ion will move inside the axon terminal. Everyone's following me till here? Any doubts? Anything you want to ask?
No.
Oh. Furthermore, after this is done, now the next step that will happen, now since the calcium has now moved inside the terminal, so this calcium, what does it do? It basically stimulates. It stimulates the fusion of the synaptic vesicle. Where will the synaptic vesicle come and fuse, students? Anyone?
To the axon end? No. Oh,
The dendrites of the another neuron.
Hey, what? Where? I didn't hear. I'm not mocking you. I didn't hear. That's why I'm saying where.
Dendrites.
No, dendrites so is far away. Synaptic vesicles. Remember the diagram? The vesicles, they were
From,
fusing
like,
somewhere.
to the end of
What is that thing called?
Membrane something.
Or synaptic membrane or something like
The
that.
synaptic membrane. Okay, it comes and it fuses with presynaptic membrane because this is the last of it. All of you are technically correct. This is the axon ending. This is the neuron ending, but not specific. Understood? So this is synaptic membrane where this vesicle is going to fuse. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
yeah, ma'am.
Now see, for those of you that have missed the classes, it will be a little difficult to understand. And Zonera, I have started this chapter, like in the batch, this neural control and coordination chapter is going on. Okay. So you will be caught up to speed with this chapter. Right now, I'm teaching the impulse. You are understanding everything up until now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wherever you have doubt, feel free to ask. Okay.
Okay.
So now the synaptic vesicle, it will fuse with the presynaptic membrane and release the neurotransmitter, which is the chemical, right? So the neurotransmitter, it will be released. Is it clear, students, up until now? Any doubts?
No,
And where is it getting released? The neurotransmitter is getting released into the what?
synaptic cleft.
Very good. Into the synaptic cleft is where it is being released. This is the initial stage. Now, after that, what will happen? Neurotransmitter is going to bind with the specific receptor, which was there on the postsynaptic membrane, right? So, the neurotransmitter, if there is any spelling mistake, please excuse me. I'm speaking and I'm writing at the same time, so I tend to make mistakes in this spelling. So neurotransmitter fuses or binds with the receptor at where, like which position? Of the postsynaptic membrane. And I hope you people remember that the postsynaptic membrane was the another neuron, isn't it? So it has bound to the postsynaptic membrane. So this is how the chemical has transmitted from one neuron to another. But what about after this? So after this process is done, then we come on to the last process of the transmission. Because of this binding, the sodium channels, if you people remember, they get opened. And the whole entire transmission of the nerve impulse that we have studied, that begins again in this neuron. Clear? So from one neuron, you have sent the information to another. So here, the binding opens up the sodium monopositive ion channels. Okay, and allowing the entry of sodium ions. And we know sodium ions, they get entered as soon as the nerve impulse gets reached on that surface, isn't it? Huh? Which generates the action potential in the postsynaptic membrane, meaning in the next neuron. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah,
Should
ma'am.
I go over this once more? So let us see what actually happens during this process. First of all, the depolarization, meaning the impulse that has reached, it has now reached the neuron number 1 at the end position of it, which we are calling as the presynaptic membrane. Furthermore, the calcium channels are going to open because of it, and the calcium from the external fluid, from the surroundings fluid, it will come inside the synaptic knob. And as soon as it comes inside the synaptic knob, it stimulates or it makes the synaptic vesicle to go and fuse with the presynaptic membrane. Now, when it fuses with the presynaptic membrane, imagine that it gets opened and the neurotransmitter which is present inside, it gets released into the synaptic cleft. Now, the neurotransmitter will bind with the receptor. It has been released into the synaptic cleft. It will travel along and bind with the postsynaptic membrane. And in the postsynaptic membrane, now impulse has been generated, because of which the sodium channels will open and then the sodium will come inside, making this depolarized. Okay? Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So this is how the process of the nerve impulse transmission via chemical synapse takes place. Okay. Now this up until now is the part of the chapter which seems like it has come from some other planet for us to study, because it is something very unlike what we have been studying up until now. Now we come on to the fun topic of this chapter, which is, I think, interests everyone. Wait, let me change the ink for that matter. We will study human brain. The thing that makes us who we are is what we're going to study, right? The actual fun part of the chapter. Now, who remembers from class 10, what are the different parts of human brain? Human brain has been divided into three
Cerebrum,
parts.
cerebellum, medulla.
No, the three basic parts.
Forebrain, hindbrain, and I forgot the third one.
Whole brain,
Midbrain.
midbrain, and hindbrain. Three different parts are there of human brain, right? Further, when we talk about the forebrain, it has cerebrum, it has hypothalamus, it has thalamus, right? And then in the midbrain, what do we have? Is there any specific part divided in the midbrain? Everything you people have forgotten from class 10?
Cerebellum.
Cerebellum is hindbrain. And then in our cerebellum, we have in our hindbrain, we have cerebellum, we have pons, and we have medulla oblongata. Right? I hope you people remember. Acha, tell me one thing, students. The nerves of our brain are called as dash. What are they
Cranial
called
nerve.
as? Cranial nerves. Very good. And the nerves of a spinal cord are called as?
Spinal nerve.
Spinal nerves. Okay. Amongst these two, which of the nerves have myelinated axon? Which one looks white?
Maybe cranial nerve.
Cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are made up of the myelinated axon, whereas the other nerves of our body, they mostly have non-myelinated, but the majority of the nerves that are present in our body, they are myelinated nerves. And this is the reason why it looks whitish in color. Okay. So we have human brain. Now, when we talk about the human brain and the spinal cord, both of these two are the parts of a certain kind of nervous system.
CNS.
CNS.
Very good. Central nervous system. CNS, you're saying, ma'am, full form up khud hi samajh liye. So, central nervous system is what? Our brain and the spinal cords are the part of. Now, obviously, a brain is a very, 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 very delicate organ. Extremely delicate organ, right? So, it has to be protected with all our heart and soul. How is the brain protected?
But cranial.
There are three fluids.
See, first, if we start from the brain level, our brain has been surrounded with membranes. Okay, 3 membranes are there. If anyone names it, virtual chocolate for you. The 3 membranes that surround the brain. I can't give you physical chocolate, so virtual. 3 membranes that surrounds the human brain. Everything people have studied in class 10. No one wants chocolate. Chocolate's for me then. Achha, I'll tell you one.
That question really came from that topic. It was such a small topic.
So tell me what are they called? Like the membrane names you people don't remember. Can you tell me what are the membranes called?
Hinges.
What? Say again.
Meninges.
Meninges. Correct. Meninges. They're called as cranial meninges. There are 3 meninges that are there. Dura mater, pia mater, and arachnoid layer. 3 layers are there. Okay. Now, these 3 layers, if the layers are present in such a manner that this is there, this is there, this is there, it's not that they are one top of each other stacked like this. There is a space, considerable space between them, which is fluid, which is filled with a fluid called as cerebrospinal fluid. Okay. So, now this cerebrospinal fluid is there so that no shock or any kind of injury can occur to the brain. And furthermore, for extra protection, there's like a bony box inside which the brain is present, which we call as the cranium or the brain box. How many bones is the cranium made up of? Now your level. How many bones is the cranium made up of?
I don't remember learning this.
Meninges, nahin, meninges. Meninges.
No, I don't
meninges.
remember learning how many bones the cranium is made up of.
You people have not done this chapter with me, locomotion and movement. You've done, na?
22, right?
No, not 20.
Ma'am, I think it's 6, maybe 6 or 7 something.
You're very close. 6 and 7 is not correct, but you're very close. It's a single digit number.
8.
I only remember 7.
8.
8.
8 bones make up the cranium. Now, 20,000 brownie points to whoever names these bones of the cranium. Whoever.
I know Frontal and temporal.
Yes, frontal bone, temporal bone. Then,
I forgot that is.
acha, you people remember PT4s? Nothing I say you people remember. Why? I teach you with all my heart and then you people don't remember it. What is P?
Occipital bone is O.
This is occipital bone. Okay. Then P is
Parietal,
parietal. Very good. T is
temporal.
temporal. F
F
is
is frontal. O is
frontal.
occipital.
S is
I'm not sure about S and E.
S is sphenoid and
Right.
E is ethmoid. Okay, these are the bones from which the human cranium is made up of. Okay. All right. Okay, now you people note down a little bit. Let me catch my breath and then we'll start human brain. What is the last thing you people have written?
We need to start from resting potential.
Resting potential. Okay, also students, resting potential. Okay. Now for those of you that have joined today, you start writing from here only and then hopefully for you people, I'll arrange one extra class so that I can teach you the rest of the things and then you write this, okay? So you start from writing from here.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
any advice on how to remember the examples of botany chapters?
Botany chapters, try to make mnemonics. That's all you can do. Read it 10 times, if not 20 times. You know, once you get in the habit of
I
pronouncing,
did, but then it's like
it's like you're having difficulty from plant kingdom. Where are you having difficulties?
more like morphology of flowering plants from there.
Acha,
Examples of like each topic.
So you have to read it many, many times. Okay. Like once you're done learning what actually like what presentation is, what estimation is and all of that, then you move on to learning just the examples. Those examples are tedious. You will only learn when you read it multiple times. That's all that you can do. Even now
Because
also
I
sometimes you
have
forget.
tomorrow I have a 720 marks test, like 180 from botany itself, and has like the whole morphology chapter in it tomorrow. And then it's so hard to remember the example. I keep on forgetting as I keep on learning more stuff.
Make a list. Make a list. When you're done learning them, make a list. Like parietal, whatever examples for whichever thing is there, you make a list. Understood? That's all you can do. That's all I can say because there's no mnemonic. If you want to try, you can make mnemonics, but how many mnemonics will you make for this chapter?
There's
This
too
chapter is
many.
filled with examples only. So what I would suggest is that read it as many times as you want and try to make your memory photographic. Like you see the page, remember where everything is situated. Maybe that will help. Okay, read the chapter like NCERT book, you read it many times. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you people note down.
Mom, how many more classes will this chapter take?
I think in the next class, because we only have the brain to discuss now, so hopefully in the next class it will be that. Hopefully.
Which chapter are you taking after this?
Chemical.
Okay.
Okay, the human physiology will get over there. The chemical control will do. Okay.
Okay. Mom, how long is anatomy of flowering
Flowering
plants?
plants. You have
Yeah,
not done that chapter with me.
I have not.
The rest of you students, have you done anatomy with me?
Ma'am, for me it's cancelled.
Acha. Is anatomy, like, has it been done in the batch class? No.
No.
I don't think so.
For none of you have done. Okay. So, anatomy is not a very big chapter because a lot of parts have been deleted from it. But that part which is there is more than enough to get you bonkers. I don't think it will
Because
take
in our school, a lot of parts get cancelled, like the ones that are not connected to 12. But then it's like, it seems easy, but then the way you teach in an elaborate way, that's better.
See, it's that chapter, I won't consider that chapter is easy because even teaching that is a little bit difficult. But once you get the hang of it,
diagram.
it's okay. The diagrams are there. And like you have to compare things for monocot stem, dicot stem, monocot root, dicot, like that. So it's not that difficult. We're not going to, it's not animal kingdom or plant kingdom, but yeah, a little bit, that's all. So you are asking me how much time will it take for me to complete that?
Yeah. Because now our teacher is like rushing the syllabus. We're already on structural organization in animals.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this chemical integration is done?
Yeah, I did an exam of this. Chemical and neural both.
Okay, I'll see. Like for everyone, is anyone having chemical integration in their syllabus for the upcoming exam? Chemical control and integration, that's the name of it. Is anyone having that for their exam?
No, ma'am.
None of you do, right? Okay, then after this, I'll start with anatomy only. I don't have any problem. We'll do anatomy. Okay, you note down till here, then we'll move. So after this, I'll start anatomy of flowering plants. Okay?
Yeah, I have anatomy of flowering plus exam on 10th, November 10th.
November 10th.
Yes.
Alright, then after this chapter, I'm going to start that. November 10th, you're saying.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, you people have classes. Huh? So we'll have only 2 classes. One class I'll take for this chapter. One class will be there. Maybe I'll have to schedule an extra. But let's see. We'll do it. So you people write down quickly.
Ma'am, how long is this class?
Till 11 p.m.
Okay.
Done, mom.
Done.
Okay, everyone's done till here. Okay. Done, students? Done till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, students. Done till here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So for today's class, we're going to keep it till here only, and we're going to continue in the next class. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks.
Most
Thank you,
welcome. Good night.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.